One of these men was the key figure in the most daring espionage plot of World War II. What is your name, please?
My name is Clifton James.
What is your name, please?
My name is Clifton James.
What is your name, please?
My name is Clifton James.
Two of these people are imposters. Only one is the real Clifton James, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now, here is our host, Bud Collyer.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and welcome once again to Tell the Truth, brought to you this week by Arid Cream Deodorant, America's largest-selling deodorant. Don't be half safe, be completely safe. Use Arid Cream Deodorant to be sure. And now may I introduce our panel. What is your name, please?
My name is Betty White.
My name is Ralph Bellamy.
My name is Kitty Carlisle.
That's funny. I thought my name was Ralph Bellamy. I guess I must be Tom Poston.
Oh, Betty, nice to have you back with us again.
Nice to be back. Thank you.
And whoever you are at the far end, Tom, a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Bud. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, these three gentlemen, as you heard, all claim to be Clifton James. Only one, of course, is the real Clifton James. The other two have merely assumed that identity. Panel, will you please follow along with your copies of this first affidavit as I read it? I, Clifton James, am an actor. In May of 1944, when I was a lieutenant in the pay office of the British Army, I received a phone call from Colonel David Niven asking me to come to London to discuss making some Army films. When I got there, I was informed by military intelligence that I had been selected for a highly secret and dangerous mission. I was to impersonate General Bernard Law Montgomery, to whom I bear a striking resemblance. After 10 days of rehearsing the mannerisms and the voice of the general, I was flown to North Africa. Posing as Montgomery, I appeared at diplomatic functions and reviewed troops, usually in the presence of known enemy agents. The idea was to convince the Germans that Montgomery was in Africa and that the invasion of Europe was coming from that direction. The ruse worked, and the enemy diverted some 70,000 troops from the true invasion point in Normandy. A film has been made about my story. It premieres in Washington, D.C., February 12th. It is called I Was Monty's Double. In it, I play the part of myself. Signed, Clifton James. All right, panel, you heard these three gentlemen all claim to be Clifton James, General Montgomery's double. Only the real Clifton James is required to answer your questions truthfully. Let's begin tonight's questioning with Kitty Carlisle. Kitty?
Thank you, Bud. Number one, after your military impersonations were over, I think I read somewhere that you did one more impersonation, a civilian one, of the general. Where was that?
That was in the south of England.
What was the occasion?
A large pageant in aid of boys' clubs.
Thank you. Number two, what member of the royal family was at that pageant? Do you know?
I'm afraid I don't remember.
Number three, it says here that you're playing Monty's double, and you play the part of yourself in the movie. Are you playing yourself as Clifton James or Clifton James as General Montgomery?
I took both parts.
You play both parts?
Yes.
Well, who plays the general?
They did not appear simultaneously.
They don't appear. Oh.
No.
Number one, can you tell me the single most difficult characteristic of the generals to impersonate?
Well, he has so many. It's very difficult because he's a man who's never still. Tom Poston.
Number one, are you really Clifton James?
I am Clifton James.
How do we know you're not General Montgomery? Don't answer that if you're embarrassed. Tell me, number two, what part of Africa did you impersonate General Montgomery in?
Well, I was first flown to Gibraltar, and from Gibraltar I was flown over to North Africa, and I was in Algiers, in Constantine, in Sfax, and in Tunis.
Can you tell me, number 2, where Tulergma is?
I'm afraid I don't know, sir.
Betty White.
Thank you, Bud. Number 2, while you were impersonating General Montgomery, did you ever meet the General face to face?
I certainly did in England and in Scotland.
Did you fool him?
I hope I did, because that was my mission, which I was set out to do.
Oh, I bet it was a scary one. Number 3, when they gave you this mission, this dangerous mission, did you have a choice? Could you have turned it down?
I could have done so, but it was most impressed on me that it would be for the country's good, etc., and for the purpose for which it was evolved. And one wouldn't turn it down.
Number 1, at diplomatic functions, did you ever meet some of these people face to face, or did you always just appear at a distance?
I met them face to face at times. Ralph?
Number 1, who is the present president of British Actors Equity Association?
Mr. Sanderson.
Number 2, who is the present president of British Actors Equity Association?
Mr. Sanderson, sir.
Number 3, same question.
Mr. Sanderson.
Number 2.
Sorry, it's time to vote. Also time to inform you that Ralph Bellamy is the present president of America's Actors Equity Association. We wanted to know who his vis-a-vis was.
May I ask one of them what became of Felix Aylmer?
I haven't got time, I'm sorry to say, Ralph, to sneak one in there, maybe afterwards. But right now it is time to vote. So without consultation, will you mark your ballots? And as usual, select thereby number 1, number 2, or number 3. Of course, as usual, the team of challengers will receive $250 for every incorrect vote. Okay, panel all marked? Ballots all set? Betty, for whom did you vote?
Well, in spite of Tom Poston, I don't think he's had a look at the budget on this show. I'm going to vote for number 1. I don't think it really is General Montgomery.
And what about your selection, Ralph?
Number 1. Principally because I think he looks more like him.
Uh-huh. And Kitty, what about your vote?
I voted for number 1. Number 2 didn't know which member of the royal family was at that non-civilian impersonation, and I didn't get a chance to ask number 3, but I think it's number 1.
Tom, what about yours?
I voted for number 3 because I'm throwing the game.
Well, all right. Who knows? Maybe your throw was the best one. Let's find out as we discover which one of these gentlemen is the real General Montgomery's double. Gentlemen, I'm going to ask you all to stand up, if you don't mind, at your desks. And then, if you will, please turn your backs to the panel and make whatever alterations are necessary to your so-called makeup. And then I'll ask you to turn around again. If you turn around, please, your backs to the panel. Okay, all set? All right, you turn around again, please. See which one it is?
Yes.
That's a good news. Thank you very much, sir. Now, you told us earlier when we were chatting with you beforehand that the General had a peculiar mannerism of sitting down. He stood up and sat down very quickly. Did you do it for me quickly to see how he did? Very good. Thank you, sir. I thought that might be interesting. These are among the mannerisms that he had to learn. Number 2, would you tell us who you really are and what you do, please?
My name is Norman Jackson. I'm an executive in the Controllers Department of Saccone Mobil Oil Company, where I've been employed for the last 37 years.
Thank you, sir. Number 3, what about you?
My name is Reginald Hill, and I'm a New York City accountant.
He's a New York City accountant. I have to say at this moment that I'm a little puzzled here because you look very familiar to me. Now, why would that be?
Yes, I was successful in May last year in securing 2 votes on the same program.
You were one of the... Oh, that's where you were on the panel before. You were one of the challengers. Well, I thank you, gentlemen. Panel did very well. They got 3 correct, only 1 incorrect, for a total of $250. For the 3 of you, I do hope that you enjoyed your visit. We certainly enjoyed having you here with us. And on your way out, you will find a year's supply of Rise Instant Lather for each of you. Good night, gentlemen, and good luck. Incidentally, the film I Was Monty's Double is released in this country by NTA, so keep watching for it. And now, panel, let's meet our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Alma K. Schneider.
What is your name, please?
My name is Alma K. Schneider.
What is your name, please?
My name is Alma K. Schneider.
Please follow along, panel, with your copies of this next affidavit. I, Mrs. Alma K. Schneider, am a former newspaper reporter and real estate saleswoman. In 1953, President Eisenhower appointed me to my present position, at which I now make more money a day than any other woman in the world. I am the superintendent of the United States Mint in Denver, Colorado. Signed, Mrs. Alma K. Schneider. All right, panel, you heard these 3 ladies all claim to be Alma K. Schneider, superintendent of the United States Mint at Denver, and we'll begin this round of questioning with Ralph Bellamy. Ralph?
Number 1, who is the present treasurer of the United States, and who was the treasurer before that?
The present treasurer is Ivy Baker Priest. The one before that was Georgia Neese Clark, and I think it's gray now.
Number 2, what was Georgia Neese Clark's profession before she became treasurer?
She was an actress.
Number 3, what's your answer?
I have no idea.
Number 1, I believe Mrs. Priest has written a book which is either out or just about to be out. Do you know the title of it?
No, I don't.
Number 2, do you?
No idea.
Number 3, do you?
Something about how green is ivy or something about ivy.
Kitty?
Number 1, how much nickel is in a nickel?
Nickel and a nickel? A quarter.
A quarter?
There's a quarter of nickel and...
No, I mean in a nickel, number 2. How much nickel is in a nickel quarter? No.
25% nickel.
25% nickel.
75% silver.
Number 3, which is heavier, a pound of feathers or a pound of gold?
A pound of... Well, they're both weigh the same.
Number 1, how many ounces in a pound of gold?
Oh, it's 12. It's 9/10 of a avoirdupois. It's troy weight.
Thank you very much. Number 2, how many pennies are put into circulation during the year?
We have no pennies in this country. They're only cent pieces, 1 cent pieces.
How many are put into...
Tom Poston, please.
Number 1, you say that there is a quarter of a nickel in every nickel?
Yeah, The other part is 3/4 is copper.
Just answer the question, please. May I call you Alma?
Yes, sir, indeed.
Is there any nickel in a quarter?
No.
Tell me, who's in charge out there at the Denver Mint of throwing good money after bad?
I am.
You are.
We bring in the bad and we throw out the good.
Number 2, where do you store your gold?
In a hole in the ground.
Thank you. Just let me ask, where does the U.S. government store its gold?
At Fort Knox and at Denver.
Betty?
Thank you, Bud. Number 3, how many mints are there, such as the one in Denver?
2.
And where are they located?
Philadelphia and Denver.
Number 2, what about the mint in San Francisco?
That was discontinued in 1955. It's an assay office now.
Oh.
Anybody for a mint? That's all the time we have, so without consultation, it's time once again to vote. Will you please mark your ballots, panel, and in so doing, as you did before, select number 1, number 2, or number 3. Everybody marked? All set? Okay, Betty, who's your choice this time?
Oh, I'm just plain silly because I'm going to go for this. Knowing how sneaky all of you are, I have a hunch that the Fluff first name was on purpose. So I'm going to go for number 3.
All righty. And what about your hunch, Ralph?
Number 2. It was a toss-up between number 1 and number 2, and I decided on number 2 because she seemed more secure with her answers, I felt.
Had a more weighted nickel. All right, Kitty, what about your vote?
I voted for number 2. Number 3 didn't know about the difference between a pound of feathers and a pound of gold. It isn't the same. And number 2, but she did know about Ivy's book. You fooled me on that one, if there isn't any book by Ivy Baker.
She had it right, too.
She did write a book.
She had it
Tom,
right.
your
She
selection.
had the right title.
I voted for number 2 because, among other things, she looks like a big moneymaker.
All right, there you have it again now, the reasons we voted and our votes, and I hope you're voting along home with us, and we'll find out how right or wrong you are, too, now as we discover which one of these ladies is the real superintendent of the United States Mint at Denver, Colorado. So will the real Alma K. Schneider please stand up? Well, Betty, that was a hunch. It was a good one. I don't know why you didn't pick me. I fluffed it, too. But in any event, number 1, tell us who you really are and what you do, please.
My name is Mildred Gaynor. I'm the editor of the publication Nursing Outlook.
Thank you. And number 2, what about you?
My name is Patricia Edgerly. I'm the owner and director of the New York Medical Exchange.
Well, we check our totals, and we find that you did real well against the panel. It was only 1 correct and 3 incorrect, $250 each for a total of $750. Ladies, on the way out, you will find a gift package of all of Carter's fine products for you. Good night and good luck. And now, panel, let's meet our next group of challengers.
What is your name, please?
I am Cecilia Neville.
What is your name, please?
My name is Cecilia Neville.
What is your name, please?
My name is Cecilia Neville.
Again, an affidavit, panel, please follow. I, Cecilia Neville, was raised on a farm, and my interest in livestock has been keen ever since. I attended a Midwest university where I studied animal husbandry. Today, my major interest is in judging animals at livestock shows throughout the country. I am one of the foremost professional swine judges in the country. Signed, Cecilia Neville. All right, again, we have 3 persons, each claiming to be the same. These 3 ladies claiming to be Cecilia Neville, professional swine judge. We'll start with Betty White. Betty?
Thank you, Bud. Number 1, what do you look for in a prize swine?
Well, in a barrel, I look for firmness, structure, bone structure, that is, and balance and meatiness.
Isn't it kind of hard to tell them apart? They're all such hams, you know. You don't. Number 2, what is a pullorum test?
A florum test? I don't know.
Number 3, what is a pullorum test?
I don't know.
Number 1, what is a pullorum test?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Well, number 4, what is a pullorum? Number 2, is range fever more prevalent among swine or among cattle?
Range fever would be more prevalent among your cattle.
Ralph Bellamy.
Number 1, what university did you attend?
Well, I attended the University of Florida and the University of Wisconsin.
Oh, but well, then it would be it says a Midwest University, doesn't it? Yes, that would be the one referred to, Wisconsin.
That's right.
What Midwest University did you attend, number 2?
I attended Purdue University.
Number 3, what university?
I went to Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Well, number 1, what are the streets on the 4 sides of the Capitol in Madison, Wisconsin, where the university is?
Gee, I've forgotten.
Number 2, can you tell me? Number 3, you went to Wisconsin.
Pinckney Street, Main Street, North Carroll, and
Right between walk and don't walk. Kitty, please.
Number 1, what's a swine?
A swine, there is not such a thing as a swine. Swine is a term used for a group of pigs or hogs.
All right, what are swine? Don't answer that. Number 2, what are kine?
Pardon me?
K-I-N-E, what are kine?
K-I-N-E? I do not know.
Number 3, do you know what kine are?
No, I don't.
You don't know number 1 either? No, I didn't think so. Number 3.
That's be kind to animals. Tom Bowden, please.
Be kind to swine. Number 3, can you call a hog?
Yes.
Would you call a hog a hog? Could you
If I
demonstrate?
were calling a hog
Could you
to
demonstrate how to call a hog?
Suey, suey.
Number 1. That third girl is obviously Chinese.
What you really say is suey, suey, chop, chop.
That's when you want him in a hurry. Would you tell me, number 1, what is a shoat?
A shoat is a baby male pig.
It's a male show. All right, there we are. Time to vote once more, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm slow.
So will you please mark your ballots and select number 1, number 2, or number 3? All right, are we all set?
No.
You
Absolutely
voted, yes?
not.
Let's go. Everybody voted? All right, Tom, you voted?
I haven't really yet.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Okay, Betty, who did you vote this time?
Well, I gotta go with a hunch again. It worked last time. Number 1 just looks so much the part, but I'm gonna say number 3 on account of those streets in Wisconsin.
Okay. Ralph, your vote, please.
Number 3, they all had a lot of information, but number 3 did know the streets of the surrounding the Capitol Square in Madison, where Wisconsin University is.
Okay.
None of them are the one. They didn't know what kine are. I believe about number 3, and if you fooled me about Ivy Baker Priest, that's not the one.
Kine are cattle.
That's
And
right.
what about you, Tom?
I think it's number 3, too, Bud, because she's my cousin.
Now that you mention it, I've seen her on the Steve Allen Show. All right. There we have it now, the way we voted and how we voted and why we voted, who knows? But in any event, let's find out right now which one of these 3 lovely young ladies is the real professional swine judge. So will the real Cecilia Neville please stand up? Really fooled them all. Okay, number 1, did you tell us who you really are and what you do, please?
I am Helen Burford, and I'm with the Mercury Outboard Motors at the New York Boat Show.
Thank you. And number 3, what about you?
My name is Lucia Coltis. I'm from Madison, Wisconsin, and I'm presently secretary to the fashion editor of Glamour magazine.
And Tom Poston. All right, well, we did well. We fooled the panel completely there. There were 4 incorrect votes, ladies, for a total of $1,000. Enjoy it. Thanks for being with us. And on your way out, pick up your own gift package of Carter's fine products. Good night and good luck. Thank you. Well, I guess that's about all the time we have for tonight's panel. Ralph, don't break any speed laws getting over to the Court Theater for Sunrise at Campobello, will you?
All right, you
Just make it safe, but make it. That's the main thing. Always a joy to have you back with us, Betty.
It's such fun. Thank you.
Tom, come again, will you?
Thank you.
Cousin or no cousin, pig in a poke or not, come again. I guess that's it. Good night, panel.
Good night, Bud.
Now, this is Bud Collier saying good night from Arid Clean Deodorant and reminding you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
To Tell the Truth is the Mark Goodson, Bill Cogman production in association with the CBS Television Network.